Hey everybody, it's Larry, Wes, and Mike with another virtual edition of Three Things. Wes, why don't you kick things off?
Larry, today I would like to discuss unity and the idea of it. And last week obviously was a very heavy time for our country and certainly for the Green Bay Packers locker room. I know there were initially some thoughts about, okay, where's the statement coming from the Packers? When are they going to make a comment on the death of George Floyd? And it finally came last Thursday, and I thought it was a very powerful statement that Aaron Rodgers, the Packers leadership committee, all came together for 1 minute and 55 seconds, put together a tremendous video talking about some of the change that needs to happen in this country. And then moments after that, the Packers and President CEO Mark Murphy coming forward and putting forth $500,000 that they are currently going to be donating to social justice causes in the state of Wisconsin. This is an important time in our country, but it's also an important time for NFL football teams to build their chemistry, to build their foundation. And in those virtual meetings last week, I think the Green Bay Packers had some blunt and open conversation. And I think in the long run, that's going to be something that helps them as a football team.
Thank you, Wes. Mike, what is your thing today?
Well, on the on-field side of things, Larry, the Packers have a number of players entering the final year of their contract in 2020. And one of those is left tackle David Bakhtiari. We heard from him earlier this week, and it was a really interesting conversation with the media because when you start to put David Bakhtiari's career in perspective here, he has been named first or second team All-Pro by the Associated Press 4 consecutive years. There's only one other offensive tackle in the history of the Green Bay Packers with a streak that long or longer, and it's Forrest Gregg, who of course has a bust in Canton. Now, I think Bakhtiari extending that streak to 4 years in a row last year might have been his most impressive because the beginning of the year, the flags were coming out on Bakhtiari. There were some false starts, which he said were inexcusable, and he definitely cleaned that part up. He also got a handful of holding calls early in the year, but here's the thing that was interesting about what Bakhtiari said. He didn't change his technique. He didn't panic about the holding calls. He said, hey, I believe in my game. I know what I can do. I'm going to stick to what I do and what's made me successful. And sure enough, when the points of emphasis and whatnot sort of petered out as the season went along, those flags disappeared and Bakhtiari once again was named All-Pro.
Thank you, Mike, and nice haircut, by the way. Well done. Anyway, whenever and however football starts getting played again, what's going to determine success? Well, the usual suspects: offense, defense, special teams, but also how well teams handled this one-of-a-kind off-season. And that's why when David Bakhtiari was meeting the press, when he said that the Packers, he's talked to other players who are out in Southern California, he's talked to other players, other teams, and he said the Packers, without question, have the best structure. That is important, not only right now, but coming down the pipe. Whenever football returns, I'm sure you guys have seen them, the guidelines for a return to football. I mean, guys, there are guidelines for the guidelines. It is hardly going to be business as usual. And for the collective whole, the players, for them to have confidence in the guys in charge know how to do this stuff. The guys, the support staffs for the guys in charge know how to do this stuff. I think that's great for the confidence it's going to take to be successful when football returns. Because at some point, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to start keeping score again. And folks, that is Three Guys with Three Things. Stay safe and see you next time.